Okay, guys, so we might get in early with a preview for Launceston on Wednesday. Bit of the same old in regards to the track. It's about 27, 28 degrees in Launceston today, and same forecast for tomorrow. So track's out 9 metres from the 1200 to the winning post. Soft 5, but that's where they like to start them, and as we've seen in the past few meetings, given the weather, it finishes up probably about a good 3 by the end of the night, probably start good 4. So you'd imagine 9 metres out, one of these meetings surely horses are going to be able to run on, but you'd still imagine on speed's probably the place to be. Start off with an unbelievably deep race for this class. A lot of these maiden C1s over the mile are filled with future milk cart horses, but there's sort of 7 or 8 in this that all have their fair share of ability. Just work through them numerically. Bale Strand's first up from Victoria. He's got good, honest Victorian form, ex-Weir horse, I think. General Sussex, much tougher here, but it's run very well in every Tasmanian run, and form from its maiden stood up with the second and third horses coming out and running first and second. Quiet Wonder, form doesn't read that well, but probably should have run 3rd or 4th last week. Getting knocked over. Striking Prospect always hits the line. Super Leanne's just a bit of a dow type, but Fancy Dan's ran 2nd to General Sussex and came out and won. Global Princess ran 3rd last time. Lovely Lady will be on speed, and you can see like her recent form super consistent. Shavita always runs home. Trophy Legs, model of consistency, doesn't win out of turn. Wayuna, very good run when resuming, and I think she actually ran 2nd in the Stud Stakes last year behind Hot Dipped over 2100, so distance is no issue. Even rode away, it's been very good his past couple. So with the General Sussex, if I'm forced to pick one, I'd have him on top, but it's just one of those races where you've got, as I pointed out, 7 or 8 horses with the ability to win it, and whichever one of them gets the right type of run, however the track's playing. Forced to pick one at a bit of value, Trophy Legs sits on barrier 3, it'll race on speed. If there's any inside or leader bias, it'll sort of be in the right spot. There's a few of these we're getting back. You can see like she's only won 1 of 19 with 12 placings, but if you have more the place than the win on her, you can never really go wrong. So we're just an interest bet in the first. So actually I'm calling it the second race. I think the first race for me will be Life on the Wires in the last race at Sandown on Wednesday. So put up $7.50, which I thought was nice and generous. So let's hope she can do the job beforehand. So anyway, the second, and this looks tailor-made for Penstock, this race. A lot of these came through the same race last time. Central Arrow did beat Penstock home, and Little Pumbaa ran 4th, so they're in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and a few of the others in the race finished behind them. I don't think there's much doubt Penstock was the best run in the race. We might actually go and have a look at it. It was first up and drew the extreme outside gate, so they actually hooked it at the start. As obviously, I think I'd expect it to be competitive in some pretty good races this time in, so it is here, big horse out wide. So they didn't want to sort of leave him exposed 3 and 4 deep. He might get pulling and type of thing. So if we just go forward, you can see here he's done something that not many horses all season at Launceston have done, and that's make a long run out 5 and 6 wide from the 600 and kept coming. He even gets run off the track a bit here. So here's Century Arrow in front, clean achiever. It's impossible to see any of these horses behind him beating him as he's circled them all, and you can see he's running away from them. And Century Arrow does beat him home by about a length. He was also first up that day, Century Arrow, so you'd imagine there's some improvement there. But the one thing this week is the form Penstock's drawn barrier 2 this week, so I expect to see Knew it a bit more aggressive early, probably settle in the first 5 or 6. You can see he's a big horse, so probably the major concern is if he gets strung up on the inside and he needs to get momentum. But expect Newitt to stay 1 off, settle about 1 out, 2 back. And there does appear to be a bit of tempo with Century Arrow. Little Pumbaa race handy, Zippet A sort of led in Hobart last time. Snippety Cattle push forward. But very confident. Penstock probably think anything about even money's about fair. So, and it's one of those races you can measure apples with apples. As I said, there are a lot of them sort of taking on the same type of horses. So, yep. So race 2, number 6, pretty keen. The third, fair bit of speed here. Like GG's Boy went like the win last week. Silent Savings looked all over a winner and got done on the line. Words out. Ran well when it resumed. Did have every possible. French Dandy's been okay at the trials. It does look like it probably might need 1400. GG's Cash Cow was okay against the trend last time as well. Miss Smith's super honest, but she's been up for a while. And Pom Pom was a real eye catcher first up. The only thing with him, I'm not sure if it's a male or female actually. Filly, I suppose the name's a bit of a giveaway, but she blew the start on debut, and with the rail out, and as we pointed out, given the track pattern in Launceston, might be slightly concerning, especially given the likely price she's going to be. If I was to pick one, I'd probably still go Silent Savings. Actually, I must admit, very impressed the way this young Amaral Ismardi rides, so happy to have mine on Amaral. Like GG's Boy did burn out last time. It is a stablemate, so you wouldn't imagine it'd be declaring Silent Savings on, and the other one with speed will be coming out. So you'd imagine Silent Savings across to the fence. Miss Smith probably comes across with it. GG's Boy probably sort of 3 deep, no cover, not pushing the issue. And Pom Pom's obviously the interesting one. If it's close enough, it probably wins. But Silent Savings is making its own luck on speed. So if you're forced to pick one, I'd go there. The fourth is a pretty handy Class 1 actually. So you've got 0 point, well-deserved win when it resumed. The Took's the Dragon, first up from Victoria. Beautiful Boy, done nothing wrong in both runs to date. Gaznia resumed with a good effort. Our Arties, both Tasmanian runs have been good. Piped Aboard was a bit of an eye catcher first up in Tassie. Overplay wasn't far away in a red hot race last time. GG's Cantel's been super consistent this time in, had favourable runs and draws the outside gate this time, so might be somewhat of an issue. And GG's Music Maker also in the mix, but the one I'm actually keen on is Gaznia. Went round the benchmark 62 last time, over 1,000 metres, and looked to be travelling alright on the turn when the gap closed. If we watch the replay, its leaders back in the yellow colours.
Go.
So drew barrier 1. So you see it's got a bit of early speed. Now you can see it's just working into the race and just runs out of room completely in the straight. So it tries to duck back to the inside, and so you've got absolutely no momentum and has to pull round them. Now this horse here runs past, but had all the momentum up. And a few out of that race have since run well, so happy to be on there. Gaznia, you're making its own luck on speed. When I say won't be leading, it'll probably be sitting 4th or 5th. But from the gate, it's going to be certainly in a striking position. Should be backable odds. Pipe the Board was one of very few on Tasmanian debut actually made good ground from the back. So if we look at the first few races and they can make ground, might be worth having a small investment. But yeah, I don't think we can go far wrong having something on Gaznia, race 4, number 5. The fifth for the open class, I think it's what, benchmark 88. Weights and measures make it hard to be bullish about GG Red Prince. I think he meets like GG Double D 4.5 kilos worse for finishing about level with her in the new market. I just think he might get a softer lead here. So, and I probably expect him to drift out. A lot of most big punters nowadays tend to use computer systems, and when you map all that data into a computer, it's going to spit out GG Double D as the one. So if you want to back him, I'd probably wait, as I expect him to blow as the computer punters sort of unload on the ones more favoured at the weights. GG's Jet just wasn't far away in the new market. Did have every possible, but but with the claim, it's hard to see him beating Red Prince at level weights. There's not too much between a few of these. Valiant Warrior, draws well. But I do think one of the GG Red Prince or Double D will win. Just the one thing that draws me to Red Prince is he'll be in front, and his Launceston record's super, but not dismissing Double D at all. And as I mentioned, on weights, it's probably the logical bet, but he's a bit of a racehorse, Red Prince, so he might do me. And they actually went very quickly the first sort of 400 metres in the new market, so that might sort of account for the weight turnaround. The sixth, this is one of the trickier races on the card. You've got Wilby Rules, who was flying on the synthetic. Did struggle a couple of Victorian runs. As the tackler's resuming without a trial and drawn the outside, so you'd imagine it's probably not going to be used early. So probably get back. Enzio's another one, sort of when it's right to be right up to winning this, so probably watch the betting there. Wesley Hayes was a super win last time in easier grade, blew the start, worked all the way and fought them off. Galileo Cerdo, if there's any leader bias, he'll be leading, but the last 100's always a bit of an issue with him. Mully's Idol, going to get a soft pegs run. Lady Jane won a race that wasn't sort of much weaker than this a couple of runs back actually, so it'd be sitting back. Jane Coney's very tough, just hard to line a few of them up. Wesley Hayes is the one if you're forced to tip one, because you know what you're going to get. You race on speed, he'll keep coming, but not probably confident enough to invest with confidence. Zatakla was the one I was keen on until it drew the outside gate. The seventh, Nadam looks mighty well placed here with the claim. The only thing with him, it's first go at 1400 metres. Sectional times last time were unbelievably good, but he was actually on the fast lane. And the other concern was he actually blew the start. Like, we just have a quick look. Like, see there, I won't actually show the replay, but there he is there about the sort of, that'd be about the 600 metre mark, and I think they ran home in 34 seconds, so, and he's made up sort of 4 or 5 lengths, so so even first time at the trip, you'd imagine he's definitely going to be in the mix. LeConte's one who bobs up on occasions from the good draw with the claim, might be one at a bit of value just to have an interest on, but yeah, as long as it doesn't rain, Nadam's clear top pick, even though it is first up at the trip. Race 8, it was a very good race this actually. El Da Vinci's very tough to line up, won a raced on a bog track in Tassie and had sort of like a couple of months off. Did look like a good horse on its New Zealand run, but obviously tricky little draw. Good by Lonesome, smashed than last time. Much more depth in this race, but obviously draws well. What else we got in this? My old mate Key Samir, just never ever runs badly. This race, if they can run on, this race might actually map pretty well with him, because you've got Il Da Vinci will, race forward. Goodbye Lonesome raced on speed last time, and both the greys down the bottom will both go forward horses, Acronym and Shilly Billy. So imagine there's going to be a bit of speed. So as long as they can run on, happy to back Key Samir again. But anybody who listens to these knows that's no real surprise, me tipping him. But as I said, always more the place than the win is. He's never going to run badly, and he's going that well that he certainly deserves to break through soon. And in the last, EastEnders sectionals when he resumed were unbelievable. He looks a super promising stayer, but he runs into one here that Mr. America is just been a bit of a revelation this time in. Like, he's won all four, and horses he's beaten keep winning. With the claim, he gets in with 55. So he's virtually on level weights with horses that he's got like 10 and 15 ratings points over. Obviously he's going from a mile to 2100, so you can't bet with confidence, but it's also difficult to back EastEnder. His price isn't going to be great value either, knowing that if Mr. America runs a trip, he probably can't beat him on weights and tempo. So so it's probably just good pointer races. I think they're both, like EastEnder, further they go the better. I think with him last time, his last 800 metres, he ran like 10-6, 10-6, 10-6, 10-6 for 11-6, sorry. It'd be nice if he was going 10-6, all of those quarters, all of those 200 metre splits, but he just even bats. He hasn't got that high change-up speed, but he just kept coming and coming at the same speed. And obviously Mr. America just races on speed and makes his own luck. Player one always runs on, and Slalom's been okay over these trips lately. So tough card. So as I mentioned though, super keen race 2, number 6 Penstock. I think he's a good old-fashioned moral, or insert any definition of moral, good thing, etc. Disappointed if he gets beaten. And at value, we have Gaznia in race 4, number 5. So they're the two that I'll probably have most of my interest on the day. And as we pointed out in the first at the last race at Sandown on Wednesday night, I think it's 5:05. We've got Life on the Wire, so let's hope she can do the job and give us a bank for the meeting. But as I said, so the $7.50 sort of, very happy to be on her as well. So anyway, guys, so don't like tipping too many shorties, but yeah, if Penstock gets beaten, I'll be in the mall busking on Thursday morning. So anyway, guys, well, actually one other thing, I actually logged back into Twitter there this morning at about a few messages, because I turned off all notifications. So, and I had a ton of people asking my thoughts for Inter Dominion. So I'll just stick with what I've told everybody: just lay Lazarus in every race up until the final. He's not better than these horses until the distance gets to like 2,600 metres plus, and that's when he comes into his element. So the others sort of have got, most of the others are quicker than him, 400 metres, and the Purdons, he's just going to peak him on the day. So yeah, leave Lazarus alone, and if he draws any sort of barrier in the final over the staying trip, he's just money for jam. So anyway, we'll leave it there, and we'll be back with you with a preview for next week. But thanks again, guys. Cheers.